This is Electrical Apparatus and Devices, first topic in Module 2, which is per unit analysis in transformers. Okay. By the end of this topic, the student should be able to define the per unit system and establish appropriate base quantities, typically base apparent power S sub B and base voltage V sub B for different zones in a power system separated by transformers. Second, prove mathematically that the per unit equivalent impedance of a transformer remains identical regardless of whether it is referred to the primary or the secondary side, and perform a voltage regulation calculation using a transformer's nameplate per unit or percent impedance given its equipment rating to a common system-wide base. Now, for the per unit representation, it is the method of normalizing electrical quantities to a consistent set of base values. This simplifies calculations, especially for complex networks involving transformers, generators, and transmission line. So you may notice there that the figure in the right side, that exactly is the nameplate of the transformer. It has what? Indicated rated power. Okay, there's an indicated rated power here, which is this is rated apparent power 100 kVA, and then there is this high voltage with 11,000 volts and low voltage is 415 volts. You'll see also the currents, and the 2 times 2.5, that's the percent where it can vary. Usually that's involved there are what? That's the percent regulation. Okay, the current is this one, 5.25 amperes and 139.10. And then you'll see here the short circuit impedance, the load losses, the no load losses, and so on. We already have discussed that one before. Of course, for this part, the masses, these are for the physical quantity or the physical attribute of the transformer. Okay, so it's indicated there for let me say support purposes. Now, when it comes to evaluating the base values, usually we have what? The base AVA, which is S sub B, and then we have the voltages. So what we can assign is that we have I sub B as we have here the uh, let's say for single phase, the base current is equal to S sub B over the V sub B. Okay, and I just want you to be reminded that a base current is always magnitude only. Okay, now for three phase, we have here the I sub B as S sub B divided by square root of 3 times V sub B. So therefore, you will not have any problems with what? Using VI conjugate to get your S sub B, because we're only pertaining with I sub B as the magnitude only. Okay, so I will not put this one pala. I want you to see it like this, that um these are all magnitudes, no? The base values are all magnitude only. Okay, so if you want to get the impedance, it's V squared over S. Okay, and it's same thing then as well for three phase. Okay, so now with that said, let's proceed with this. What are the advantages of using a per unit representation? First, manufacturers usually specify the impedances of equipment in percent or per unit of the base of the nameplate rating. Second, network calculations are done in a much simpler fashion with less chance of mixing up. Let's say between phase and line voltages, between single phase and three phase powers, and between primary and secondary voltage. And of course, the third one is that voltages have the same range in per unit in all parts of the system, from extra high voltage system to distribution and utilization. Okay, so let's proceed with the sum of the sample problems. For number one, it says there, the per unit value of a 2 ohm resistor at 100 MVA base and 10 kilovolt base voltage is what? By the way, I have not put here the formula for the base values, for the per unit values, but usually the per unit value is equal to the actual value over the base value. Okay, so that's it. No, so in all, no, in all quantities. Okay, so let's proceed with number one. For number one there, the per unit value is what? Okay, what we need to get from here is the Z base, because we have what? A 2 ohm resistor. Okay, so we need to get the per unit value of a resistance, no? So for Z base, that definitely is V squared over S base. Okay, and then voltage base gives you what? Gives us 10,000 10 kilovolts squared divided by the S base of 100 times 10 raised to 6 VA. So that will be the Z base. Okay? So definitely it's now 10,000 squared over 100 times 10 raised to 6. Okay? So that becomes what? 1 ohm. Remember that base values are magnitude only. Okay? So therefore, the Z per unit is now, or let we can use it R. You guys R. You can use R there, no? Or Z. Yan. By the way, no, since we're looking for the per unit value of this resistor, um, we can use Z or R, and it's already understood that this is a purely resistive component. Okay? So now we have here what? The R actual over the Z base. Okay? So now the R actual is 2 ohm over 1 ohm. And that gives us what? 2 per unit. 2.0 per unit. Okay? So that's it. That becomes our answer for number 1. Okay, number 2. It says there that in number 2, a 13.8 kilovolt down to 440 volts, 50 kVA single phase transformer has a leakage reactance of 300 ohm. For this part, diba, we know that what? This should be positive J 300 ohms. But of course, for this problem, we're only pertaining with the leakage reactant, so we don't need, parang putting J is not necessary, okay, because it doesn't mix up uh, with the resistance or anything that is in real value in ohms. Okay, so now at 13.8 kilovolt down to 440 50 kVA single phase transformer has a leakage reactance of 300 ohms, refer to the 13.8 kilovolt side. Determine the per unit value of the leakage reactance of the low base. Okay. You have there two voltages here. One with the high tension and one with the low tension. Okay. So, one with the low tension and one with the high tension. For this part, this becomes the voltage for the high tension. This one is for the low tension. Okay. So, when the problem told us that to find the leakage reactance of the low base, what we need to find is the Z base with the same formula, of course. And of course, what's the voltage base there? Low base, no? 440 volts squared all over S base, which is 50,000 VA. Okay? And that gives us Z base as 440 squared over 50,000, which is um 3 3.872 ohms. Okay? Now, the complication here is what? We need to find the per unit value of the leakage reactance of the lower one. However, what's given to us is what? This reactance is referred to the high side. So using the previous formula for transformer, and we know that's what? ZEP, or actually it's X, no? XEP over XES is equal to A squared. Um, for us to get the XES, the secondary one, we have to make it what? XEP as leakage reactance of 300 ohms all over A. What's the value of A there? It's 13,800 volts all over 440 volts. Okay? Squared. So, that's it. That will be our XES. So, 300 over 13,800 over 440 squared, which is 0.3305 ohms. Okay? So, lastly, for us to find the per unit, X per unit is equal to X actual over the base, the Z base, and this is what? 0.305 ohms all over 3.872 ohms. And what is the X per unit here? It's 0.305 over 3.872, which is 0.0788 per unit. Okay? Um, you can express this one in terms of J when you're going to mix it up with resistance per unit. But if we're only pertaining with X, it can stand alone as that one. Okay, usually in the board exam context, if X is only being asked here, there's no J. Okay, but I guess you already know that the reason why we have the J operator is to separate the real value and the imaginary value. Okay,